The true origin of the Dalmatian is lost in the midst of time, but early cave drawings depict spotted dogs as companions. Many theories exist as to which breeds were used to develop the Dalmatian, some including Great Danes, Greyhounds, and various varieties of pointers. Works of art dating back to the 17th century have featured spotted dogs called Dalmatians. Evidence exists that the Dalmatian traveled with European nomads, as they are documented as being circus performers as well as war dogs.
Really?
So well-rounded.
Put on a good show.
I've seen some intense Dalmatians.
Oh,
I've seen
yeah.
some intense Dalmatians. Don't let them fool you.
In the mid-1800s, the term coach dog emerged after Dalmatians demonstrated an affinity for horses and for accompanying horse-drawn carriages. Coachmen would depend on the dog to keep the horses calm and to guard their rigs while they were away. The breed also played this role with fire apparatuses, earning the nickname firehouse dog. We all know that. You know, growing up, you see a firehouse, you see a Dalmatian.
Yeah.
Also, 101 Dalmatians.
Good movie.
101 Dalmatians.
Good
the
movie.
OG.
Hits me right in the core. The
That's a
Dalmatian.
horrible, really
I know.
horrible movie if you
They're
think
trying
about
to
it. but
kill 'em.
They're trying to kill the puppies to get coats.
Right, right.
Horrible.
Just traumatizing.
Yo, their
kids.
coat looks crazy.
Yeah.
Disney
You know?
back at it again.
White with the black spots. I mean,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So the Dalmatian is built for road work, possessing the speed and endurance for long runs at a steady pace. So this dog could run,
getting after
If it does have Greyhound in it, then that's where that comes from. The guarding and stuff comes from the Great Danes.
It's kind of a mysterious dog. We don't
is a
even know where it
mysterious
came from.
dog.
It just kind of, you forget about them.
Mysterious.
All of a sudden they show up and boom,
Lost
you don't
in the
know. You're like,
midst of
hey,
time.
you friendly firehouse dog, you about to get me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't see many of them, like you said. They're pretty rare.
Yeah.
Selection of a Dalmatian puppy should be regarded as a major family decision.
As with any dog.
I was going to say. Since the dog may live 13 to 15 years of age. True to his legacy as a dog with endurance for running long distances, the Dalmatian requires plenty of exercise and mental stimulation. He has a high-energy dog, so training with Canine Revolution dog training would be your best bet.
Would be a good dog to do working stuff with. You know?
The Dalmatian has a low tolerance for boredom and can become destructive if ignored.
Oh, yeah.
So, again, mental stimulation, exercise, just want to make sure. The Dalmatian is naturally curious and intelligent, can easily adapt to any situation or environment. Again, I feel like situational, nowadays with dogs.
Yeah.
Breeding matters.
You don't see these a lot, but you do see them. But they are very unique, very interesting to watch and observe. And we know that it's from the midst of time. The Pembroke Welsh Corgi, which is the other Corgi, these were used by Vikings and Scandinavian seafarers, combined with the indigenous small herding dogs of the Teckle type, believed to have arrived in Wales with the Celtic invasion. Okay, so that's kind of their background. They were used by Vikings.
These dudes are they're on the ships. They're on the boats getting, rowing. Skull.
With their normal-sized body and short, sturdy legs, the Corgi is classified as a dwarf breed. When the small Welsh cattle, so there were smaller cattle, were grazing in common unfenced pastures, the nimble Corgis hoarded them to the choicest spots and chased away competition. The Vikings are using these dogs. The Corgis are from the Vikings.
Yeah.
Their double coat repelled dirt and self-cleaned enough for duties at the hearth. You know what that means? At the hearth. Ain't that the fire?
Yeah.
Ain't that the Viking?
Here's what I'm picturing, right?
Yeah.
You got a Viking, big jacked berserker.
Oh, yeah.
Right? He just got done pillaging.
Oh yeah, he was
covered
raiding,
in blood. Covered in blood. He comes back to the hearth.
To feast.
He's got his horn full of ale.
Oh yeah.
He's got a corgi right here. And he's just petting it. Good. Chugging his ale.
He's got a big beard. His corgi's licking his beard from all the meat that's hanging in his beard.
Good corgi.
I mean, you look at the corgi, you can definitely see it hanging out with some Vikings.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
The
This
dog
is probably makes them soft, Makes them a little softer, gentler.
The dogs were built low enough to dodge kicks from the cows.
Nice.
As they nipped the cows' flying heels. Perk ears channeled sounds of vermin they sought to dispatch. So, the corgi got those big ears, they can hear the mice or whatever. They're hitting. Oh, you know what? That's a big thing for the Vikings too. Because the Vikings, how they had their cities basically at the water.
Right.
There's going to be a lot of mice. A lot of rats. So they had the corgis.
Yep.
The corgis could handle their cattle. The corgis could handle their varmint problem. And the corgis could handle the hearth.
Hang out at the hearth.
Right. With legs extending, their fluid gait eased long trips as they drove flocks of geese to market. I mean, these dogs were doing a shit ton of stuff.
mean, geese ain't an easy creature to herd. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, a goose will fight your ass.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, you got little Viking. They probably had like the horn helmets for the corgis, probably.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just
Well,
made that up
the
in my head,
corgis
but-
have the ears.
Yeah.
So that's how the Vikings, they designed their helmets after their corgis.
Now
They're
we're-
like, we must have our
Now
horns
we're just making up history at this point.
It's true, though. While most Pembroke Corgi tails are docked, there has always been a strong gene for the natural bob. The practice of docking was originally intended to identify dogs as working animals and thereby avoid attacks, and later to ensure uniformity in the breed. In countries that today ban docking, breeders have retrieved the gene for the natural bob, which is a naturally short tail. So anyway, that's the Corgi, right? We talked about the two types of Corgis, but the Pembroke Welsh Corgi is probably your common stock of most Corgis we know of today.
We didn't see a lot in that show Vikings, so it must not be accurate.
No, it's accurate.
We should probably.
It's accurate.
No, I'm saying the show Vikings. Must
That's
not
what I'm
be-
saying. Yeah,
They got it wrong. They
and
should
the
have had more
actual
corgis.
show with Ragnar Lothbrok
Right.
was made by the History Channel. So History
probably-
Channel, we gotta call them.
Yeah, we should probably let them know.
We gotta call.
Hey, more corgis, please.
All right, moving on. We got the Black Russian Terrier with Erin.
Oh yeah, this one gets me amped.
Yeah, you've trained one or two.
Yeah, this was a good dog to train too. Okay, they call this dog the Blackie. You know.
Nice.
That's what they call it.
Yeah,
I got a
the
chicken
Blackie.
named Blackie.
The Black Russian Terrier, also known as the Blackie, is one of the newest breeds in the world. It was created after World War II by the Central School of Military Breeding, known as the Red Star Kennel, a government facility founded in 1924 that bred, trained, and maintained working dogs for military service. After World War II, working dogs had essentially become extinct, and the government ordered a creation of a new breed that would be able to serve as a multi-purpose military dog in different climatic regions at military installations, prisons, and other government sites. To perform this work, the breed would need to possess size, substance, coat, intelligence, trainability, and the stable temperament required for use in guarding, patrolling, tracking, and drafting all in one package.
Wow.
This dog can do it all. The breed development began with 100 dogs of 17 breeds and crosses under the guidance of some colonel, with the core breeds mainly being the Giant Schnauzer, Rottweiler, Airedale Terrier, Newfoundland, and the Caucasian Jakarta, whatever.
Nice attempt.
I think there was some Doberman in there too at some point. Pretty sure.
I think you're hoping.
I think you just want that to be true.
By 1956, the Black Russian Terrier was breeding true, and the Red Star Kennel released dogs to private breeders. First, Blackies were introduced into the U.S. by Sylvia Hammerstrom in the 1980s. So then, in just 2001, the breed was admitted into the miscellaneous class, and then in 2004, accepted into the working dog
Newbies.
class. The desirable type is a large dog with a balance between excellent substance and powerful movement without sacrificing one for the other. The Black Russian Terrier is confident, courageous, and self-assured dog with a strong personality. I can confirm this in the dog that I trained. Good example. Working dog, very protective with an instinct to guard house and family. Can also confirm to
Confirmed,
this.
huh?
Yes. Because of the size, strength, and natural protective qualities, early and continuing obedience and socialization training from Canine Revolution dog training will result in a well-rounded, stable, and trustworthy companion. This dog thrives best in a home environment. If you do not feel you have the time or ability to handle and train a powerful, determined dog, or, have the ability to send it to Canine Revolution dog training, or if you have never owned a dog before, it would be best to look for another breed that better fits your family. A well-trained and socialized Black Russian Terrier is a faithful and devoted family member who will provide the right owner with years of enjoyment. But it does have a double coat, requires grooming, keep it healthy, free of mats, so go to the groomers, brushing, all those things. The face, you need to make sure you're grooming that because you can start to cover the eyes or whatever it may be. Make sure that all of their features are accessible to them. Good dog.
Well, tell us some stories about the one you trained, Erin. What do you remember?
She was a good dog. She was a good dog. I liked her. She comes back for boarding every now and then, but I mean, she was just very, very trainable, like liked working, good demeanor. But, you know, she remembered going home for sure because she would try to, that dog was in an apartment set up, and so other dogs are around, you know. She's thinking she needs to guard the whole thing, you know, this whole thing.
The complex is mine.
Yeah,
Right.
So we're working through some things, but the owner was getting after it, you know, doing a good job with the training. I mean, it's a great dog, you know.
I remember one time I was there with Erin.
Yeah.
Erin's walking with the lady. This little Chihuahua dog's running at us, coming at us. I'm like, I got this.
Oh yeah, Chad then just went off, did a pro bono session.
Trained the Chihuahua.
Owner
I ran off. I collected the Chihuahua.
Owner nowhere in sight. Chad's like luring it into different.
Yeah, I'm training it.
Yeah.
I'm training it in the park.
I'm walking with the owner. We did laps. I'm like, let's go see where Chad is. We come back. Oh, Chad's still training the dog. All right, let's go.
Chad's doing an intake for board and train.
Yeah.
I get the owner's number off the collar. I call the owner. They're like, I'm over here. And I go find him eventually. They're like, I told that dog to stay in the house.
Well, he didn't listen to you.
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck?
Meanwhile,
that dog
Chad
loved
doesn't
me.
even call me to find us afterwards. He's just walking
He's like,
around.
she'll figure it out.
He's walking around. I'm like, all right, we'll just meet at the car or something.
Normal
but
Chad behavior.
we were having a good old time. We were having a great time.